Good morning, boys and girls. Good afternoon. I'm sorry. I knew I should have had this up in the morning, and I apologize. But I hope you are all doing okay. I'm thankful that I got to see some of you this morning. If I didn't, that is okay. I hope to see you this afternoon. So let's get started on our phonics lesson. So today we are learning about our suffix. Remember, a suffix are letters that are added to a root word. So a word that's already a word. And remember that a suffix does not change the meaning of the word. Like if we have cow, we have one cow. But if I add a suffix s at the end of cow and it makes it cows, it makes it more than one. And so our new suffix that we're learning is er. And then this little dash just means that er is going to be added to a word. So let's look at our first word, teacher. As you can see, I already have it coded for us. Teacher. So if you take off the er, you have the word teach. And teach is something that the teacher teaches. It's something that the teacher does. And if he's over here, I got a picture of a teacher. She's teaching about shapes like that you did in math last week. So now the suffix er has a vowel. So when a suffix, remember that when a suffix adds a vowel, then it adds a syllable to the word. So that's why I put a little accent mark before the er to show that it's a syllable. And we box our suffix er, and I underlined my EA digraph because EA is a digraph, two letters that make a whole new sound. We put a macron above the E because it makes the long E. And we crossed out the A because it didn't say a sound in this word. And then we need to underline our CH digraph because CH are two letters that come together and make a whole new sound. And CH comes together and says ch. So remember, we box our ER, our suffix ER. And if you look at the second word, mixer. Now we need to box our ER. Now, in these two words, teacher and mixer, the ER, it can mean something or someone is doing something. So, like teacher, a teacher teaches. And then a mixer is a device. Maybe your parents have one at home. As a device in the kitchen that helps mix things. It helps mix things like if your mom is making a cake or some brownies or anything in the kitchen. Maybe she has to mix some eggs in the dough to make a birthday cake. A mixer. So a mixer is a thing that mixes. So now if you look at the words older and softer, this er suffix has a different meaning to these words. Instead of it describing a person or thing doing something, it's comparing two things. So like older. See, I have my suffix er, older. If you look at this picture, who is older? Is the boy, does it look like the boy is older, or does it look like the little girl is older? Who is the older sibling in this picture? So we're comparing the boy and the girl. Who is older? Now, and don't forget your macron above the O, because that makes the long sound. And now if you look at the word softer, the very last word, I put a breathe on the O because it makes the short sound, aw, softer. We box our er suffix, but we're not talking about soft. If I take off er, soft isn't a person or thing doing something, it's describing. So look at these pictures of the bunny rabbit and the grass over to the right. What if I was using softer, we're comparing which picture is softer. Do you think the bunny is softer than the grass, or do you think the grass is softer than the bunny? We're comparing the two pictures, just like how we were comparing who was older, the boy or the girl. Okay, so the suffix er goes at the end of a word, and it can mean it can describe and tell what a person is doing, like a teacher teaches or a mixer mixes. And then er, the suffix er, can also be added to a word to compare something. Like older is which is older, the boy or the girl, and which is softer, the bunny or the grass. Okay, so that's our suffix er. Now, suffix er has a cousin suffix that we're going to learn about next. This suffix, the er's suffix cousin, is the suffix est. Say ist. So when the suffix ist is added to the end of a root word, we are comparing three or more things. So that's the difference between the er. The er, you're comparing at least two things. But when we're comparing three or more things, then we use the suffix ist. So let's look at sophist. Now first we got to put a breve above our vowel because it's the short sound. It makes the short sound. And then we put a box around the est suffix and put our accent mark because it's a vowel. It's a vowel suffix, and so it adds another syllable, softest. Okay, so what do you think is softer? I have three pictures over here by softest. Softest. We have a bunny, a pair of socks, and a balloon. What do you think, boys and girls? Which is softest? What is the most soft? That's what we're comparing. We want to know what do you think is the most soft? I think the bunny is the most soft, but because look at how furry. Have you ever pet a bunny? It's so soft and fuzzy. It's very neat to hold. So look at our second word, oldest. So remember, we have our macron above the O to make the long sound, and we have our suffix est, ist, and put our accent because it adds another syllable, oldest, oldest. Okay, and I have a picture of three siblings because remember, when we use our suffix est, we are comparing three or more things. And so we have three siblings, a family of three. We have the one on the left with long hair and the yellow shirt. She is the oldest sister. And who do you think? And the little boy in the green shirt is the youngest sibling. And so the one in the blue shirt would be the second oldest. So we have the first oldest and the girl in the yellow shirt. We have the girl in the blue shirt, the second oldest, and the little boy in the green shirt, the little brother, is the youngest. So remember when we use the suffix est, we add it to a word when we're comparing three or more things. Now, if I take off the est, it doesn't change the word because if I took off est to softest, it would still have the word soft. And if I took est suffix off of old, it would still be the word old. Oldest. All right? So, when do we use suffix er? When we add it to a word that is doing something, like a teacher teaches, and we add it to a word to describe two or more things, like older, or softest, or smartest, or toughest, or prettiest. All right, so boys and girls, and don't forget to code your other things. Okay, so that is all for today's lesson. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I hope to see you tonight, this evening on Zoom at 5:30. Have a great rest of the day.